Thank you for staying with us. This is Ann Parisi with Champion News Talk Radio, brought to you by championnews.net. Our founder, Jack Roeser, and myself have Congressman Joe Walsh. And before the break, Congressman, the one word you said this whole thing is about freedom.
Well, it's about having a message, a philosophy, and then advancing that philosophy through politics. We haven't had that in Illinois. Look, Michael Madigan, forget about Governor Quinn, he's irrelevant. Michael Madigan and the Democrats have run this state into the ground. But for years, the Republican Party has been right there with them, not making any waves, not standing for anything on principle, just because they wanted whatever crumbs of power Madigan would give them. This state won't turn around unless there's a Republican Party that stands for things, that says, I don't want to be part of that corrupt Democrat thing.
It's a trickle-down economy of crookedness.
Yes, and so in this may take a while, Carol Ann, because the Republican Party in this state has been missing in action for years.
It's gone now, and people like us are filling in the gap.
I think you're right, Jack.
Yeah.
But Congressman Walsh, you said it may take a while.
It's lucky that the creeps in the party are gone. One of them's gone to jail, that Bill Cellini, and his partner, Bob Shalander. I spent a lot of time revealing the kind of creepy stuff those two guys were doing. I can't accuse anybody of a crime, but I can tell you what I think of Bob Shalander, and I think he and Cellini should be pals in the slammer. But we got rid of those effectiveness in those guys. Congressman Hastert did his president. Listen, Hastert sat on the money valve for the longest of anybody in the House, and he didn't clamp down on the spending of money that went on in the Bush administration. Hastert there is more responsible than the failure of Bush than anybody else. And he's back here, but luckily he's done creepy things himself, and he's irrelevant, and he ought to stay there.
But who's Jack, not to get into inside baseball, but name me the last Republican in Illinois that articulated a vision of a free, dumb, and limited government society in this state. I can't think of one.
There aren't any.
Name me a Republican who said, I want universal school choice everywhere, in every corner of this state. I want to eliminate the state income tax. Do you know we lose taxpayers every 9.5 minutes?
Yep.
Permanently from this state.
Moving.
Where's the Republican who's saying, I want to reverse that?
They made fortunes back when Illinois was a powerful state. Some of them still have it. Some of it see it dwindling out. A great many have already left the state. They've gone other places where they aren't going to get taxed and treated as stinking lousy as Madigan and the Democrats have done to any small businessmen. I mean, take the big businesses, that's one thing. Listen, I've brought more employees to the state of Illinois than the creepy politicians did when they brought Boeing here. That was 300 employees. I employed damn near twice that. But the way they treat people, I got myself and my company out of Cook County because they're too creepy there.
I want to throw another word into this. Freedom's certainly up there because freedom will produce opportunity. And opportunity is something that the Democrats and liberalism strips, because opportunity means I can start a business. There was a woman in Colorado. She came from Africa, and she started a business braiding hair. She got very good at it. And finally the salon said, hey, she doesn't have a license. Well, the license in Colorado to have a beauty shop, it was like $1,600. She had to shut down an enterprising business because she didn't have the $1,600. And the Democrats, in truth, hurt the poor.
Michael, the entrepreneurial rate, the rate at which people start small businesses in this country is at the lowest it's been in 40 years.
Sure.
So it's too difficult to do that.
We're Atlas
That's
Shrugged.
where jobs come from, is not from huge companies. They come from the multitudinous number of small companies.
Yep.
The push carts in larger are what employ people. It's where the jobs are, and they aren't growing.
No, they're not. And we're not 16 trillion in debt. We're a lot more. And the unemployment rate's not 8%.
No.
It's closer to 14 or 15%.
Because there's the U3 and the U6, and they always report the lower one, which is more convenient because it doesn't really speak.
We're not growing and we're not creating jobs.
No.
We are moving toward a society where everybody's going to be dependent upon government, and that can't work, and it goes against everything we stand for.
The reserves that people have in their living are running out. It used to be that one wage earner in a family was enough. So for years it's been two. Well, it's going back to just one, or this thing would have crashed long ago without the jobs. So
well, make no mistake, that's by design too, because you pull a mother away from her children when her children are young and put the pressure to have two incomes. It's hard on a marriage. It's hard on kids to not have mom around. It's hard on the woman to be super women. So this whole woman's lib thing did not do us any big favors because you're hurting the family.
Well, look at the result of what's happened in Chicago. There's no opportunity. There's no jobs. Unemployment among black youth is what, 46, 48%. That means half of them are unemployed. And what's Springfield doing? Oh, they're talking about raising up the minimum wage, which prevents the youth from having the jobs they need. You take away opportunity, you take away hope, you place people in despair. And you're going to have a very violent, very volatile situation.
It's going to take a while, but we need Republicans who will go into every neighborhood in the city, Hispanic and African Americans,
yes,
and tell them freedom is better for you than government dependency. That's going to take a while.
Yep.
18% of Hispanics buy into that. The rest of the Hispanics think that government should do this. Coming here, the government should
Carol Ann,
take care
we're
of
losing. I mean, we're losing this fight right now.
Yeah, because we're not messaging. They say that they're going to be taking care of you.
Mm-hmm.
They're pushing fear, they're pushing division, but we're going to take care of you. It sounds better. And you know what?